Which actors owned 1930s cinema? Who earned the most recognition from major awards in this decade? Today, number 2. Paul Muni. Paul Muni was born in 1895 in Lemberg, now Lviv, in present-day Ukraine. His birth name was Frederick Mechilem Meyer Wiesenfreund. It's not hard to see why he chose a different stage name. After his family emigrated to the United States, he started performing in Yiddish theater, and by the mid-1920s, he was acting on Broadway. Muni entered the 1930s with awards recognition already on the scoreboard. His film debut, in The Valiant in 1929, earned him an Oscar nomination, but his real mark came in the decade that followed. 4 film performances would define his place in 1930s cinema. I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang in 1932, Black Fury in 1935, The Story of Louis Pasteur in 1936, and The Life of Emile Zola, released in 1937. First up, I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. Directed by Mervyn Leroy and based on Robert Elliott Burns's memoir, this pre-code crime tragedy does not pull the punches in its portrayal of the justice system. Muni plays James Allen, a decorated veteran who is wrongfully convicted and sent to a brutal chain gang, a group of prisoners chained together and forced into exhausting labor as punishment. Allen tries to piece his life back together, but the film keeps tightening the screws. Muni's performance is not built around breakdowns, it stays contained. The tension comes from the pressure building scene by scene and from how little he signals his suffering.
It's been almost a year since you escaped.
But I haven't escaped. They're still after me. They'll always be after me.
The film received 3 Academy Award nominations, including for Best Actor. Muni was nominated alongside Leslie Howard for Berkeley Square and Charles Laughton, our number 5 Best Male Actor of the 1930s, who won for The Private Life of Henry VIII.
I'm an Englishman. I can't say one thing and mean another.
Next, Black Fury. Inspired by real events, this crime drama, directed by Michael Curtis, follows Joe Raddick, a miner in Pennsylvania coal country, caught between personal loyalties and a labor dispute that is turning dangerous. Muni gives Raddick a hot temper and a stubborn pride, but he never lets the character spin out of control.
It belongs to me.
He gives us a man trying to hold on to his dignity, even when the pressure starts closing in from every side.
Go on, you yellow rat. You sell out your own money for a nickel.
At the 8th Academy Awards, Muni ended up competing for Best Actor against Clark Gable, Charles Laughton, and Franchot Tone, all 3 for Mutiny on the Bounty, and Victor McLaglen, who took home the Oscar for his performance as Gypo Nolan in The Informer. Fun fact, that year, Paul Muni was not officially nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor. His recognition came through write-in votes, which were still allowed back then, and he actually finished second. For our ranking, that is enough to count the performance and award the points. Then came The Story of Louis Pasteur. Directed by William Dieterle, this biographical film casts Muni as the French scientist whose work helped change modern medicine.
Try again.
Again?
Yes. Again, again, and again. Remember our aim. Find the microbe. Kill the microbe.
We follow Pasteur as he pushes an unpopular idea against an establishment that does not want to be challenged.
Pasteur was discovered to be a charlatan 10 years ago.
Muni plays him with nerve and focus. The performance has a kind of forward momentum, like the character is always halfway into the next argument.
We've been following the same procedure that we did with anthrax.
Which only shows how little we know about disease. Nature's far too subtle to repeat herself.
The Academy recognized Muni's work once again. That year, he competed against Gary Cooper for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Walter Houston for Dodsworth, William Powell for My Man Godfrey, and Spencer Tracy for San Francisco. But at the 9th Academy Awards, held on March 4, 1937, at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles, Paul Muni finally took home the Oscar for Best Actor.
The award to you, Paul Muni, for giving the finest performance of the year of 1936 in the motion picture The Life of Louis Pasteur.
Thank you very much.
Last but not least, The Life of Emile Zola, another biographical film led by Muni, again directed by William Dieterle. The story follows the French author as he moves from early struggles to public influence, and then into the Dreyfus Affair, a political scandal where a French army officer was falsely convicted of treason, and Zola publicly challenged the state's case.
Save the army. Convict Zola and save France. I say to you, pick up that challenge. Save the army!
Muni does not play Zola as a one-note hero. The performance stays grounded and direct, and it gives the film its moral weight without turning into a lecture. For this performance, Muni received his 4th Oscar nod of the decade. This time, he was up against Charles Boyer for Conquest, Frederick March for A Star is Born, Robert Montgomery for Night Must Fall, and Spencer Tracy, who ended up winning for Captains Courageous.
You touch that kid, I tear you apart, see? Yeah. Me, Manuel, talking, I tear you apart, see?
So, with 1 Oscar win and 3 nominations in leading roles, Muni ends the decade with a total of 2.5 points on our scale. That makes Paul Muni the number 2 best male actor of the 1930s. And since he entered the decade already with an Oscar nomination under his belt, he closes the decade with a total of 3.0 historical accumulated points, a reflection of the long-lasting impact of an actor in full control of his craft. Will Paul Muni return in the 1940s ranking? Will he claim a place on our all-time best male actors list? Share your predictions below. We're getting close to the end of the decade. Next up, our number 1 for the 1930s. Stay tuned.